Mercy sees all.
Hi everyone, Bruce here. Thanks so much for taking the time to subscribe to, or just, out of curiosity, come and check out the videos. Greatly appreciated. New areas, always appreciated, especially with the rain. I see a triangular-ish object on the bottom right there. Yeah, do you guys see anything? What we're seeing are objects that look like they're filled with toothpaste or hard to see straight edges or whatever. Of course, and I'm not saying that they're cities, not all the areas, but anyways, whether they are or not, we're seeing a magnificent surface of areas, of course, that are not seen. I love seeing these areas, and you can see a clear line path up the straight center here that goes to a light source right there, and it's repetitive, and I keep looking at the surface, and we can see connections in areas where, because in general this looks like a flat surface, and all I'm doing is not magic. I'm just showing, clarifying, adjusting the lighting so that we can see any type of surface anomalies or structuring. And you guys know it, the ones following me since a while, that's how the research developed, because we're able to see areas where, configurations on the surface and setups that no, it's too construction like or whatnot. Throughout the years, all of us together have been seeing all this beautiful surface. It's close, it's blurry. Well, it's not blurry actually, it's that the surface is cloudy, whether it be dust hazes or natural clouds. I'm not saying whether it is or not. I'm just saying there is a definite dust on the clouds. Don't forget, guys, NASA did say that there are unknown gases on the surface. So this isn't something that could be impossible. The areas where we're seeing construction or anomalies and setups and lines, whatnot, because there are lines on the surface. And when we say lines, like this one here is a couple of hundreds of kilometers in length. And we can see at the top it's a crater's edge, and to the crater there's a direct line going to the crater with hundreds and hundreds of objects and anomalies. And listen, some of them look symmetrical. And the way we're seeing the surface, of course, I'm not NASA. We don't have the pristine tools to be able to see the exact, really crisp 90-degree angles and edges. Listen, parallax, they talk about it, whether it's real or not. Look at this, it's beautiful. The parallax, optical illusion, causing us to see high-standing objects lying down. We're still seeing quite an elevation. Set back, I know we're close, but and I know I have my fans that love it when I get close. It's my goal is to get in as close as I can without getting to the pixelation point. And we're seeing objects on the surface on lines. The massive connections that we're looking at are many kilometers long. Look at the levels on the surface by applying some light in the images to be able to see the surface, how it is. But these objects are in the dark most of the time, and they're hard to see. And when people bring it out, well, when I bring it out, some people say, well, where the heck are you? Right by Copernicus. I'm not hiding it. Speaking of Copernicus, in the center, top and bottom, we can see Copernicus crater on each side around different edges of the crater itself, seeing construction-like objects. Look in the bottom right, we're seeing lines in that photo. Take the time to pause it and analyze it. Grab a magnifying lens if you have it. There's definitely some manipulation on the surface that we could believe that I'm seeing anyways. These surface objects, whether they're constructed or not, they look like platforms. Look at the dark one, also shapes. So we get dark shapes and we get bright surface shapes. We invert them and we see that they're very out of place on the surface, and it leaves me to believe that they could possibly be constructed, of course, without having any confirmation. Close up east of Bianchini crater, the closest we'll get to clarifying it now with this object, but because everything looks pasty or cloudy. But listen, if there's clouds there or dusts, well, it would be very normal. This is a very intriguing area. Apollo 17 supposed landing right up to the top. We're in Mare Serenitatis. To the bottom left, and that white line goes to Bessel crater. Look at the surface. Don't forget, Mare Serenitatis, they tell us it's flat. It's definitely not flat. It's extremely mountainous. And if not, well, it's a flat surface with very high elevated structuring. But we could see very well. Some objects are wow, like the lines, right? The connections and stuff. I mean, there's a limit to how much ejecta could be up there. With smaller scopes, we see so many lines of ejecta, but you get a bigger scope, and I'm only at a 14 there. I'm not even at a 30 yet, but we could see all these lines on the surface, and over top of the circle here too. It's incredible. The proof there that something manipulated the surface isn't that hard to see. Another angle over here, Apollo 17, look at the surface. I mean, they don't show us the surface, right? We can't really see the surface of the landing areas. I don't know, they look flat. But there's lots that we can see, that's for sure. This is the moon a couple days ago. I'll get some more footage up. I was busy today. Sorry for getting this up late, guys. A lot going on, but it's all good. So thanks for the support, everyone, and for subscribing. This is my mailing address.
Aliens are the moon. Aliens are the moon. And they're mining. Really up there. And they're mining on the moon. Aliens are the moon. Aliens are the moon. There's fire. Really up there. And they're mining on the moon. Aliens are the moon. Aliens are the moon. And they may be coming soon.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.